All right, what is up, my friends? Welcome to another Monday video here on CoolStuffInc.com. We got a whole new format to play. That's right, Pioneer was announced last week, much to the surprise of basically everybody. And Pioneer is a new format, basically in between Modern and Standard. The format starts at Return to Ravnica and goes right on up to present day. And only banned cards in this format currently, it's probably going to change, are the 5 Khans of Tarkir fetch lands. So they're letting us play with all of the toys. Dig Through Time, Feldar Guardian, Aetherworks Marvel, everything's legal. And they're going to let us basically kill each other with all these cards and then figure out what to ban later. Wizards said they would be very active with the ban list, so we shall see. But we got a whole new format here, and this is just uncharted territory. It's been a pretty crazy week of just tons of brews flying left and right, and I got a pretty cool one here. I did a stream last Thursday with Todd Anderson, where we both brewed up some decks and played. That's on my YouTube, and one of the decks that I played that seemed best was this sort of Esper Control, Esper Planeswalkers deck, and surprise, Teferi Time Raveler and Narset Parter Veil still really good. Right? So Pioneer being a format in between Modern and Standard, it's kind of hard to gauge where that line is. You know, cards that are not good enough for Modern, but obviously good in Standard. Well, where's the midpoint? You know, is Thought Erasure obviously very good in Standard, obviously unplayable in Modern? Where does that fall on the Pioneer scale? And kind of solving questions like that is going to be a lot of figuring out this new format. But one of the things that seems to be pretty clear to me right off the bat is that Thoughtseize is one of the best cards in the format. One of the most powerful disruptive elements. There are very few good counter spells. Basically, if you want to stop your opponent from doing what they want to do, Thoughtseize is a great way to do it. And with a lack of counter spells and Thoughtseize being one of the better elements, we end up wanting to lean our Esper deck towards more of a Planeswalker tap out control deck rather than like an instant speed counterspell kind of control deck. So we get to add quite a few excellent Planeswalkers to the roster here of what we're used to in Standard. Of course, with our interactive suite, we have our 4 Thoughtseize and 2 Thought Erasures. A lot of good kill spells here. Fatal Push actually not as good in Pioneer as it is in Modern because there's no Revolt with fetch lands, making it a little harder to revolt. And the curves are just higher because there's more 3 and 4 drops, but still very, very good. Cast Down is kind of a catch-all. Hero's Downfall, even more of a catch-all. Not playing Murderous Rider because Murderous Rider is a creature, not a spell, so you can't find it with Narset, can't flash it back with Jace Viren's Prodigy, and the 2 life really matters. And then, of course, Supreme Verdict is back. That's right, no Oath of Kai is here. Verdict is legal, and Verdict is very, very good. Wrath of Gods are awesome, and plays phenomenally with all of our Planeswalkers. Couldn't ask for more, honestly, in Supreme Verdict. Oath of Kai also slips in, too. A card you would never consider in Modern, but Lighting Helix is pretty good. Obviously, the Planeswalker trigger is very good. And then just bouncing this with Teferi Time Raveler is just as good as it is in Standard, honestly. Also, aggro red decks seem pretty good, too, so good thing to have access to. And then our Planeswalker suite is pretty sweet. If you're still watching the video, I appreciate that. Thank you. We got Teferi Time Raveler, of course, who's just busted. Every day you find something new to do with Teferi Time Raveler. One of the things we noticed is Teferi turns off Torrential Gearhulk, as well as 35 other cards that Teferi makes not fun. So Teferi is obviously really, really good. Also turns off Aetherworks Marvel, which is a pretty important one. Narset, obviously very, very good. You get to Impulse. Jace Viren's Prodigy. 2 mana Planeswalker. I know, right? Pretty crazy. Only creature in the deck. Obviously runs the risk of, hitting creature removal a little bit, but very powerful card. Can loot away your unneeded cards in matchups where you don't need them. Verdicts and pushes and things like that. And then flashing back Thoughtseizes is phenomenal, as well as flashing back Supreme Verdict. So Jace is great. Also, a possible win condition, maybe. Jace, Architect of Thought. Really good card. Aside from just being a good card advantage engine with the -2 ability, it kind of gives you an incidental win condition on the -8 if for some reason your Elspeths get killed or something like that. And then the +1 not only stops swarms of small creatures, but also stops the Feldar Guardian combo, which is good. So you have a lot of built-in hate for the two big combos in the format, Aetherworks Marvel and Feldar Guardian, which is nice. Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, no introduction, but not as good in this deck. We're not playing as many instants, so the untapped 2 lands part isn't great, but still card draw engine, universal answer. And most important is Elspeth, Sun's Champion. Me and Elspeth go way back, and Elspeth is one of the most powerful planeswalkers ever printed from a fair standpoint. Card sees no play in Modern, obviously, because everyone's doing ridiculous, unfair things. But if you're playing fair Magic, there are very few cards that can take over a game like Elspeth, Sun's Champion. So that's our primary win condition. Elspeth is really, really good. Mana base mostly just dual lands and check lands. However, we are playing 3 copies of Interplanar Beacon. This card's really good. Our deck has 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 planeswalkers in it. And one thing is we do a lot of damage to ourselves. Thoughtseize, flashing back Thoughtseize, taking shocks off our shock lands. It adds up. It adds up. And Interplanar Beacon is a phenomenal way to gain incidental life over the course of a long game. As we're grinding them down with our planeswalkers, we're just gaining more life and gaining more life. I don't see this being a problem with the mana base. We're not playing Kaya's Wrath, we're playing Supreme Verdict, so the 1 colorless mana here is fine. And, we're playing 23 other lands that tap for 2 colors each, with the exception of the 1 swamp. So, mana base-wise, I think Beacon is pretty good as well. So, sideboard is the confusing part because this is a brand new format. We literally have no idea what everyone's going to play. So, we got a pretty varied mix of cards here. Gideon is really, really good for any sort of fair matchup where you got to be a little more aggressive, want to close the game a little bit faster. Gideon is just phenomenally good. I mean, Gideon's unreal. 2 Rest in Peace. People are trying to do Prized Amalgam, Haunted Dead, Delirium shenanigans. Well, Rest in Peace is here. Authority of the Consoles for Mono Red decks. Mono Red seems pretty good. A version of Mono Red has been the best deck in Standard on and off for the last 5 years, so theoretically they should probably be good in Pioneer too. So a couple authorities. 2 copies of Mystical Dispute. This card seems pretty important for countering Narset, Teferi, Oko, Saheeli, and then Torrential Gearhulk and things like that. The 1 mana cast for blue spells is really, really good. And in a pinch, it can counter Aetherworks Marvel and things like that. 2 Noxious Grasp, again, killing Oko, Teferi, various green creatures. Just seems better than like a Doomblade effect because most of the good creatures are white and green. Then we have a smattering of one-ofs, trying to just find the right mix of things for an open format. Extra Counterspell and Veto. We have a 3rd Oath of Kaya for those red matchups. Kaya proper for honestly a lot of things. Does some graveyard work. Someone's playing Arclight Phoenix or Prized Amalgam. And then there's a lot more 1-drops in these formats. There's the heroic decks, there's Llanowar Elves, there's Gilded Goose, a lot of 1-drops floating around, which Kaya can eat, and Kaya's really, really good at that. So Kaya's pretty cool. 1 Dragonlord Salumgar. I think having 1 off-plan threat is a really good idea. Our deck has no creatures in it, so they're going to not have creature removal. We bring in this 1 Haymaker creature, so we're hopefully not prepared for it. Stealing planeswalkers, stealing creatures, just a really powerful late game effect in those grindy matchups. And then 1 Ashiok Nightmare Weaver. This card's really, really good against any mid-rangey creature deck. You take their Monastery Mentor or their Scavenging Ooze or whatever it is. Just a powerful card. And then also decent against control decks as well. So this deck's super fun. Seems very fun to play and very powerful and quite effective, honestly. And again, this is a totally new format. I've only played a few games against Todd, and that's really it. So we're going to see what happens. But first, a short word from our sponsors, CoolStuffInc.com. And we'll see you folks in just a minute for the games.
This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com. To learn more about this deck, click the link in the video's description below to read Jim's article.
All right, my first sanctioned match of Pioneer. I'm pretty pumped, and you should be too. Let's roll. Okay, so a little awkward. Obviously, no untapped source for Thoughtseize on turn 1. I think his hand's totally fine. Turn 2 Thoughtseize is fine. Turn 3 Narset, a couple kill spells. We're going to keep this. Bottom mulligan's a 6. Sorry. Thoughtseize is really, really good. So we get to go tap land, Thoughtseize, then all of our lands coming untapped. So Elvish Mystic, Llanowar Elves, and Elvish Mystic are both legal. That was actually really good. Okay, so we have the question of are we going to Thoughtseize or Fatal Push? Now we're just going to do both, which does we'll probably do both. But let's look at their hand. But does deny us the ability to play Narset. But let's just Thoughtseize first and see what happens. See what their hand looks like. Oh my god. Oath of Nissa. Nissa who shakes the world. Ulamog the Ceaseless Hunger. So Nykthos, Shrine, and Nyx strategies seem kind of popular. Devotion is a pretty powerful mechanic. There's a lot of good things to devote to. Pretty sure we're just taking Nissa here. Yeah. Seems very reasonable. Obviously, Oath of Nissa might find something kind of nice, but we'll see. We'll see. So hand's not too great. Now is a pretty big question of do we want to play our blue lands, we can cast Narset next turn, or do we want to just push the Elvish Mystic? I don't think they're doing much next turn. They need to draw a good 3-drop. So play the Hollow Fountain Zap. So go. You know, ideally we can work ourselves into a spot where we're going Narset on 3, maybe like Teferi push on 4. All right, there's your Oath of Nissa. They find a Forest. Yeah, Thoughtseize seems really good against these rampy decks. All right, they do Sylvan Caryatid, sure. Oath of Kaya. All right, so I mean their hand is not too great, but I think we're gonna Oath of Kaya the Mystic. We could play Narset. They can also just attack it. It's possible they're playing Hydroid Krasis. Some of the devotion lists I've seen have been splashing for Krasis. And if they can attack the Narset next turn, we won't be able to leave it in play. Yeah. I'm not sure about this one. It's possible we want to actually get Narset down, but this is a matchup where Supreme Verdict will be very, very good as well. Obviously, Ulamog is not... We don't want to let them get to Ulamog if possible. So Ulamog is obviously pretty tough for us to beat. I don't really have many ways to actually remove it from the battlefield, but... Alright, Llanowar Elves. So, Forest, Elves... They have Nykthos and Ulamog in hand, so they're pretty far from doing most relevant things. So we're going to get up Narset here. I think we're in pretty safe shape. Narset number 2, sure. I'll just Swamp Fatal Push. The Elf adds both to their devotion as well as a mana, so just keep them mana light here if possible. They're a long way from casting Ulamog, so let's keep it like that. Cast down. Verdict. Alright, sure, this is fine. Not the best Supreme Verdict of all time, but I'm pretty happy with this actually. Again, we'll just constrain their mana. We spot move on our hand for a follow-up threat. Constrain their mana, basically. Their only card hand's Ulamog, you know? And now they can't play any Planeswalkers that cost 5. Pretty easy game, it seems. We on Scoop Lag here? Yeah, alright, it's a pretty easy game there. Put mulligans, we take their important card and kill them. So, what are we looking for here? I don't hate the idea of Gideon as a way to pressure them a little harder. I mean, definitely want Noxious Grasp. That one's super easy. I like Kaya a lot too. Kaya, as I was saying, seems really good against these 1-drop decks. I don't hate Silumgar, honestly, to steal Planeswalkers. They probably have no way to actually kill a Silumgar. We got to be aware they're probably going to have 4 copies of Veil of Summer. Veil of Summer is one of the most obnoxious cards in the format, and obviously very good against us. However, Veil of Summer does nothing if Teferi's in play, and does nothing against Supreme Verdict. So we need to leverage these things properly. The mixture of removal is going to be a little weird. I don't think we want Oath of Kaya. I kind of like Ashiok. And I kind of don't like these Teferi Hero of Dominarias. Don't think we need that much grind. And they're a little clunky. Elspeth seems phenomenal, but... And then I kind of want the Gideons, and I kind of want Silumgar. It's a question of how much removal do we want. I do want to be able to kill their Llanowar Elves. Hero's Downfall can kill Nissa and things like that. Do we want Thought Erasure? Discard is very good against their ramp payoffs, but at the same time, it's really bad against... what's it called? That card. Veil Summer. And the question is, do you want Gideon? Do you want Silumgar? Do you want Thought Erasure? Definitely want Narset, Teferi, Jace, Elspeth. Want the Verdicts. Is Jace Viren's Prodigy good here? I think so. I think flashing back Verdicts seems pretty good. Maybe we don't want... I'm just going to play it. I'll do it like this. I'm not sure. I kind of want the Gideons, but we're on the draw. Maybe we'll bring in Gideon on the play. Gideon's just really good. It's possible Gideon should be in the main deck, honestly. I think that Gideon... This is more of like a Jund deck than like a Esper, counterspell control deck. We're just looking to play Thoughtseize, play Discard Spell, play a Planeswalker, play a threat, kill you. This hand's pretty awkward. Kaya's really good. We have pushes to deal with their early Llanowar Elves and a Wrath, which so many lands. Playing 26 lands, and we're on the draw. I'm going to keep. This is pretty risky, but Leyline of Abundance. Whenever you tap a creature for mana, add an additional green. Alright, well, that card seems pretty annoying. Now I'm glad we have those pushes. Teferi's great. We should have found a land to cast Teferi here, so... Alright, well, we're going to take out this Soul Ring here. Seems like if we can just answer their stuff, then... Alright, so Sylvan Carried is pretty good, obviously. We cannot answer Sylvan Carried to tapping for 2 mana. So I could cast, like, Nissa next turn. That would kind of suck. But, alright, we really got to draw land. There's no more room for error here. Alright, it's pretty good. I mean, we have to push the land, honestly, which is pretty good, so... I should have done this before they declared an attacker. Similar to Celestial Colonnade, if they have a Veil of Summer, now they get to still have the attacker. That's a mistake. Will he get punished? No. Never punished. Thankfully, Verdict is very good against Nissa, so we draw land? We did. Alright. I think I wanted to Fairy Time Raveler, bounce Leyline. They can attack it, but they're just going to keep playing lands, and we're going to Wrath, hopefully. Also, I'm very, very down to draw a card. So, we will need to deal with Nissa eventually, I guess. But, let's see. Turn 3 Nissa, still pretty good. Still pretty good. Xenagos? Xenagos is good. Xenagos is definitely good. Problem is the ultimate on Nissa will get all the lands out of their deck. We don't currently have an answer to that, but add some mana. It's pretty good. Pretty good turn. They have 2 cards left. We drew a land, so we can Wrath here. We could also Thoughtseize plus spell. I mean, Xenagos Nissa is kind of the problem here. They have 2 cards left. I think I would like to wait a turn to Wrath. The problem is, again, this Nissa is eventually going to ultimate and get a million lands out of their deck, so they can cast whatever they want, which is kind of annoying. But we should, if they want to plus it, they have to target a creature. Yeah, they have to make a land, so like the Wrath's even better next turn. It's not too hard for them to recast the Leyline again if I bounce it. And if I Kaya, they just kill the Kaya. We could just like Thoughtseize and Narset and set up for next turn. Narset can help us find a Noxious Revival or Noxious whatever to kill the Nissa. I think I like that actually. All right, what's Thoughtseize first to see what they're up to. And we'll probably end up playing Narset. Another Leyline and an Elvish Mystic. So their hand is pretty bad. Let's play Narset. Just Impulse, gain some life here. Verdict, Elspeth, Teferi. So, I mean, they're probably going to play around Verdict either way. Like, so revealing the Verdict is not exactly, the end of the world. Elspeth is by far the most important card as far as like winning the game, attacking these Planeswalkers. We're obviously 2 lands away from that, though. I don't think we need 2 Verdicts. I'm just going to take Elspeth. It does somewhat conceal the fact that we have Wrath. They don't have much going on here. They drew a Forest, sure. Definitely an interesting game state. It's going to be like Nissa v. the World in about a turn or two. And we have 2 Heroes Downfalls and 2 Noxious Grasps to kill this Nissa. This thing costs 8 mana to pump, right? Yes. 8 mana to put a counter on all your creatures. Oh, they did decline it. It is in May, okay. Up to. Okay, up to. I was looking for the word May, and the word May was not there, so I didn't Okay. Alright, so they're playing around Wrath properly, and we didn't draw land. Yeah, we're probably dead this game. We have to Wrath now, or we're dead. And they choose to make 5 power of Hasters next turn. Yeah, pretty unfortunate. This game just kind of didn't play out well for us. Turn 3 Nissa on the plays. As good as it is in Standard, just Wrath, I guess, and see what they do. I don't think it really matters at this point. Definitely could consider an Elder Spell on the sideboard. Could be a thing. They draw Ulamog or something? 9. It's only 9 mana. They did draw Ulamog. What a sick draw. Their hand was Llanowar and nothing else, and they just drew Ulamog? That's wild. Right, we weren't winning this game anyway, so pretty lucky draw though. Alright, am I interested in Gideon now in the play? I think that attacking these Planeswalkers is kind of important. We do have like a lot of answers, unfortunately. We just didn't really draw them. We have 2 Noxious Grasp, 2 Heroes Downfall. So I like Ashiok, because Ashiok can find creatures and pressure also. Maybe Teferi's not. Teferi's pretty good. Teferi to bounce the enchantment feels pretty nice. Salongar stealing a Planeswalker's pretty cool also. Tough choices here. I'm gonna throw this cast down. I don't think it's really killing that much. Also not like super thrilled about Teferi. Like Teferi seems fine, but Like, bouncing the ley line is pretty nice. Other than that, it's okay. Just the big question is, do I want Gideon or not? Gideon can pressure Nissa and things. I guess Nitty doesn't pressure super well. I wonder if I get Silumgar. I should draw some lands, honestly. I think this is fun. Again, if we could have killed the Nissa that game, I think we won that game pretty easily. We just didn't draw any of our 4 ways to kill it, even with the Narset and so on and so forth. Alright, sounds fine. I would love a discard spell on the play, but this plays. Alright, there's your ley line. Let's play this tapped, so you go. They play a land or off, we'll just push it, play a land tapped. Pretty good when you draw exactly one of these in your opening hand. Stomping ground, sure. Yep. Kill their Soul Ring. And now we have an answer to Vanessa. So also a Wrath. Silumgar should hopefully be good too. 2 more Llanowar Elves. Okay. And a Kaya. Kaya's pretty good. I was just going to play a land tapped and set up for Verdict, but Kaya gets to eat a Llanowar Elf and still survive. If they have a Xenagos, exactly, Kaya will die, but I can live with that. We'll kill the Llanowar Elf, kill the OG. There's a chance this dies this turn, but probably not. And then if he gets untapped with Kai, I think we're feeling pretty good about things. Kai can pick off all the 1-mana creatures pretty easily. Picks off lands and tokens too, so... And then we have Verdict, and we're building towards Silumgar. Xenagos. 1, 2, 3... Oh, that was really lucky. Alright, well... They found the exact card they needed, unfortunately. So now... Now what? Very fortunate, very fortunate. Okay. Alright, I mean, I guess we're just building towards a Wrath. We're gonna just Noxious Grass this thing, and... We have Wrath and Silumgar, so... 1, 2, 3, 4. Not there yet, unlike Ulamog or anything. Whisperwood Elemental? That's kind of an issue. This, of course, turns off the Wrath, because if you sacrifice this, when everything dies, it should manifest, so they find a forest. Alright, so they're out of gas here. I guess they can pump via Leyline. We can just wait a turn. I guess in Silumgar, the Whisperwood. Kind of sucks. Oh man, 6 drops for days. Come on, we're gonna draw another land. And if I Wrath right now, I guess when this creature dies, manifest top card of your library. So I guess they'll get 2 manifest and that's it. We're just gonna cast this Wrath. Because it doesn't count the token or the manifest. Yeah, face up non-token creatures. So yeah, they'll get 2 2/2s, which is fine. Just cast a damn Verdict. They can also start pumping stuff with Leyline if all this stuff in play, so whatever. They have a Forest in their hand. We draw a land or a spell. I think the only spell in our entire deck we can draw that's bad is our other Elspeth. Because every other card costs... I guess Thoughtseize is bad too, but every card costs 5 or less or is a land. So... And there are no tap lands in our deck that come into play tapped every time. So they play the Forest. Where'd this Ulamog come from? Oh, that was the manifested card. Got it. Okay. So this is it. They're out. Land. Narset. Narset. It's a fairy. It's not ideal, but sure. So bouncing and manifest is not ideal. Bouncing Leyline. I mean, right now they have 4 Nykthos mana and 2 mana. That's 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. They have 8 mana with the castle. All right, that was a pretty good draw. That was a pretty good draw. That's only 7. Nope. Oh, they're flipping their Whisperwood Elemental Manifest up. That's also pretty good. Yeah, I mean, they've drawn pretty well this game. I'm not gonna lie. They spiked the Xenagos off the Oath. They just drew Nissa empty-handed. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty tilting, honestly. We can kill the Nykthos. We can Teferi bounce. I guess Whisperwood. Just buys the most time. Might just be dead though, honestly. It's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're probably just dead, honestly. This has been a pretty unfortunate match. Just all around. Hero's Downfall. No, not quite. Got both of our 6 drops, only got 5 lands. So most things that could go wrong have gone wrong. So the Xenagos was really the entire game. Like, if they didn't spike that Xenagos off the Oath of Nissa, we untap with Kaya in play, we get to cast a Wrath, and we're just feeling phenomenal about things. And we're dead. All right. It's kind of a frustrating first match, I'm not going to lie. Basically, everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. Feels like it's a pretty good matchup, barring Veil of Summer on the sideboard. I mean, they're just a ramp deck, and they just have, like, a few payoffs. We're playing Thoughtseizes, we have Wraths, we have basically everything we could ever want. But they had the single Leyline in their opener, and basically everything went right for them. So, what are you going to do? I think part of the allure of this deck is that's good against Nykthos decks, is we just have a whole bunch of verdicts in our deck. And Nykthos decks are often playing towards 1 or 2 big payoffs. Our Thoughtseizes are great. But them's the breaks. Okay. I don't think we can mulligan this hand. It's a little sketch, but we get some kill spells. We can cast any of our 3-mana Planeswalkers. I'm going to keep. It's not great, but this is definitely a deck that does not want to mulligan. We want to have a good number of lands and spells, so... One mulligans to 6. All right. Alright, so Thoughtseize is not ideal, but unfortunately this is going to come down to, like, how many creatures and Planeswalkers do they have in their deck. Taking the Elspeth is probably a bad sign for our Fatal Push. Okay, so this is awkward. We're going to play the Beacon because if we draw a blue source, we can cast Narset. If we play Godless Shrine, we can't. So even though it's not nice to not play our tap land, we have a billion blue sources in our deck. So Ifnir Deadlands, interesting. Okay, must be nice. Teferi or Othakaya? I think it's a pretty easy Teferi. Othakaya might not be doing anything. We have plenty of removal in our hand. Digraph Colossus. So they're playing zombies. They took the Elspeth and not the kill spells. That's pretty interesting. I mean, we took Teferi, so I guess they might want to like let us bounce this and then next turn this and something else, but let's Narset again. Pretty hard to miss. There are only 3 creatures in the entire deck. But okay, I guess. Alright, yeah, we're just gonna Teferi here. I could see an argument towards just Heroes downfalling the Colossus and not allowing them to play it in a 1-drop next turn, but I doubt that they have a 1-drop in their hand because they would have played it earlier, so maybe not. They could have saw our hand with the Fatal Push and just tried to hold it for some value, but I'm not super worried about that. Alright. I mean, Smuggler's Copter is good and all. Thoughtseize? Alright, so we'll draw step that. And then we have push and downfall, so this all feels pretty good. Alright, their hand is Colossus, Grasp of Darkness, Thoughtseize. I mean, the Thoughtseize is pretty irrelevant. We could just take Colossus because we have let them Thoughtseize on my removal spells. I don't really care. I guess them taking push is pretty annoying because it means I have to leave up Heroes Downfall every time. Yeah, I'll take Thoughtseize. So they play Colossus. And they're going to crew. So beginning combat, we're going to Fatal Push the Copter. This is whenever you cast a zombie. Yes, we got to kill this right now. We're flooding a little bit, but see if this game is like mostly over. I mean, just drawing to any one of our large planeswalkers, and they have a Grasp of Darkness and a Swamp in their hand. All right, they drew a 1-drop. It's pretty good. That's a pretty good draw. We can Teferi bounce token and draw a card. So we get 2 draws next turn. Catacomb, not good. Teferi Hero of Dominaria, very good. Draw. Got a long way to go before Teferi's going anywhere. Lostop Reaver, sure. They played the Swamp. Godless Shrine. Not exactly running super well today. Alright, well, I guess Teferi's dead. We could play a few tap cycling lands. Those are probably worse than Scry lands, though. And also, I think any tap land makes the mana base a little rough. We're still very much in this game, despite having drawn 11 lands and whiffing on Narset. I mean, all of our top decks are pretty awesome, and a lot of their top decks are just like Grasp of Darkness and Dread Wanderers. So don't think this deck wants any like dig through times. We don't put cards in our graveyard super often, and it kind of messes with Jace a little bit too. Yeah. All right. So hopefully they kill Narset, turn on Fatal Push. At present, there's nothing worth Fatal Pushing. They do have Crypt Breaker in their deck. No, they're not even bothering. All right. All right, well, it's fine. All right. Well, we are going to need to draw a spell at some point. That's a spell. That is definitely a spell. Seems like a pretty good matchup for us. We're just the Wrath of God removal spell deck. Gray Merchant. Oh, that would have been bad last turn. It's a zombie. It is a zombie. Narset. Love it. Love these beacons. Verdict or Thoughtseize? Alright. Now we can Verdict just to keep our Narset alive and draw another card off it. I think it's fine. It's not pretty, but they currently have no other creatures anywhere. Also, if the Merchant attacks, it gets to get back Dread Wanderer. Oh wait, no, I lied. I'm thinking of Gutterbones. Wanderer comes back no matter what. That's fun. This is sorcery and one or fewer cards in it. Okay. Maybe we should find any Planeswalker if it's damn Narset. That's a good one. That's also a good one. All right. I think we finally managed to get our way out of this game, thankfully. I guess let's do this first. See the beacon's doing a nice job buffering our life total. Making sure we don't get cheesed out. I think it's the important part is that when you kind of gain control of the board with your Planeswalkers, we don't kill super fast. But so we get worried about like getting burned out or cheesed out before we can take control of the game. But gaining 2 life every spell is pretty good for that. All right, we're gonna bring in, I think, Ashiok. So they have many things to steal. Othakaya, Kaya proper. Don't think about Rest in Peace or Authority or Gideon. Salumgar is interesting. They might have like Murderous Rider, but let's look at what we're cutting here. I think I'm pretty happy cutting Thought Erasure. I don't mind cutting a Narset. And the big question is, do I want to cut Jace Firen's Prodigy or not? I think it's one of the bigger thoughts. Will they leave in removal or not? Maybe I could actually cut like a Thoughtseize. Maybe the Thought Erasure is actually better than the Thoughtseize. Taking damage is like kind of relevant. Like, I don't think we really need to discard that much against them. This question is Thought Erasure better than Thoughtseize? I'm not sure. Not sure. Maybe we can cut like a big Teferi also. Shouldn't need that much grind. And the cards we're bringing in grind pretty good too. We're on the draw. So I guess Thought Erasure is pretty bad on the draw. Alright, this seems fine. So we're adding a third Oathakaya. Our mana curve's a little chunky, but the Slumgar might not be good. I'm kind of just banking on them having no removal. Slumgar might be bad. Maybe the Teferi is better than Slumgar. Sounds pretty good. I'll keep Cryptbreaker. Cryptbreaker is really good. So alright, reach a fatal push, never mind. Alright, we're just gonna push, I think. Yeah, we're gonna push now and then Thoughtseize next turn with a tap land, set up for Narset. Cryptbreaker's just too good. If they have a last top Reaver or double 1-drop, they start drawing cards. It's terrible for us. And I don't want to Thoughtseize a last top Reaver, so just push now. Good draw, good draw. Mutavault's a nice one. Cryptbreaker, alright. What you got? Let's see the hand. Double Colossus. Alright, so Swamp, Colossus, Swamp. Pretty uneventful hand. Mutavault's obviously quite good, but so we'll just Narset, look for a Wrath, something like that. Jace Plus is pretty good right now. I guess this is pretty big, actually. I forgot we put those cards in the bin, but so Swamp, Colossus. Probably have Thoughtseizes of their own, which is a little sketch for us, but alright. Push or cast down. I think you want cast down to kill the Colossus. Wanderer's pretty good. A 1-mana spell that makes a zombie and allows him to attack with Mutavault. It's pretty nice. And they drew a Thoughtseize. That's not bad. That's a pretty good hand there. Turn 4, hand is empty, and they have 9 power in play, and they're Thoughtseizing us. It's pretty good. Gonna have a Scriptbreaker gets to go to work. We're going to 11. All right, this game is a little sketchy. I mean, this Silumgar is not good. I mean, it's gonna be really good if I cast it, I guess. Kaya is pretty good, but I'm pretty sure we're just gonna cast down the Colossus, and then hopefully we draw a 2-mana or 1-mana spell to double spell with Kaya, or draw a Wrath. Yeah, we gotta kill this Colossus. So they have 7 power in play. It's a lot of power. If we get to play Silumgar and steal blocker, it's a pretty big game. Well, that was a really good draw also, off the top with no cards in hand. Tilt. That might actually just loses the game. I think that might just do it. Now they have an evasive attacker too. Yeah, that's probably the end of the game, honestly. Wrath or bust. Oh god. Alright. Yeah, it's pretty good draw. Pretty good draw. Maybe Silumgar's bad. I had it on most streets there. Now we're back on the play. Maybe we just leave these. I thought it was just so awkward though, because like as you saw in that game, they just like emptied their hand. I'm not thrilled about Thoughtseize though. Maybe take out a Thoughtseize, bring both Thought Erasures. and just cut Silumgar. Silumgar is just like, if you ever just ask Silumgar, it just seems like it'll be great for us. We can also, maybe we'll want this Teferi too, I don't know. We're certainly glutted up on 3 a little bit. Maybe Ashiok's bad. I like the idea of producing just random blockers, but it seems better than some other stuff. Just leave it. Just try it out. The deck's all creatures, so it's like gonna be like plus put a creature in play, plus put a creature in play, plus put a creature in play, and also that's pretty high loyalty. So if they want to attack it, we gain some life off that too. So I'm not sure. Maybe the Teferi's better, maybe Silumgar's better, but let's try it. Okay. Kind of an awkward hand, but we have Jace to loot, the ability to cast Kaya with any land, and double Fatal Push. I'm gonna keep this. This hand's certainly a little sketch, but I doubt my Jace is dying. They have like a Thoughtseize. I guess things are pretty bad, but Kaya's really good too, especially in the play. So, Digraph Ghoul, sure. Okay. That's super awkward. I guess we can like tap land now and then Jace push next turn. But I really want to get Kaya going. Oh man, I couldn't flop these lands. If we could push tap land, that'd be so much better. If we play Jace, we're probably like looting away Thoughtseize. We want to play Kaya on an empty board, so like it really sucks that we can't kill something this turn, untapping Kaya. That's super awkward. All right, I'm pretty sure it's just a Catacomb go. All right, Copter's fine. And there's your Hallowed Fountain. I think we're still playing. Just playing Jace here. Play Jace, leave a Fatal Push. And we can go push now, and then next turn we can go Kaya push. Digraph Colossus. All right. And they're probably crewing Copter here, which is great. Jace Archetype the Thought is really good. That is a nice one. Jace Plus right now looks pretty good. And we can leave Jace back to block. Yeah, I like that a lot. I should have total change of plans here. Jace Archetype of Thought is no joke. Really powerful card. Might loot away with Thoughtseize. I don't know. We'll see how things pan. We're going to loot after blocks, and we'll see what turns up. The Kaya and the push are both really good right now, so getting Jace in play, if I can get Kaya down also and start Kayaing away the creatures while plussing Jace, that feels really good too. So then obviously this Jace Firehand's Prodigy is working towards flipping and flashing back pushes and stuff, so Jace can attack. Obviously this Colossus is going to be pretty annoying, but we can't kill it yet, so Metallic Mimic. Sure. That is not a zombie for Colossus. All right, that's pretty good. But we have Kaya to kill that. No attack's a little weird. Just had a free attack on the Jace for 1 point. I'm not sure why they didn't do that, but alright, we'll pitch this Godless Shrine. I don't know if we're casting this Thoughtseize or not, but the land seems worse. Next turn is Kaya plus push. It's not bad either. So it's definitely Kaya on the Crypt Breaker. I guess I'm sorry. They want to draw a card. That's why they didn't attack. They get to draw 1 card. Okay. So we're like certainly running up against it a little bit here, but I don't think I want to Thoughtseize. I think we're just gonna keep plussing. So plus push and loot. So just plus and say go here. This is whenever it comes into play, so I can choose to kill it before things come into play if I want to. Can't kill this Colossus yet, but Thoughtseize. Okay. This actually lets us flip our Jace, which is kind of nice. So just kill the Mimic. That resolves. Go to 4 cards in the graveyard. They take Narset, and then I get to block and loot. Get Thoughtseize, flip my other Jace. What's the follow-up here? Noxious Grasp on Kaya. Noxious Grasp was really good. That's okay, though. That could have been a lot worse. Still a pretty good hand, but... kind of interesting. We could wait till our turn to flip Jace because it would trigger Revolt. And then we could Revolt, kill the Colossus because Colossus is the card that's like screwing us up right now. But then we can't block with Jace. Yeah, I think I just want to block with Jace. We have a lot of ways to kill Colossus in our deck, and we're drawing a couple cards this turn. I want Watery Grave over Thoughtseize. I really don't want this Thoughtseized. They only have 1 card in hand, and I'm probably just never casting it. Yeah, I'm just going to get rid of the Thoughtseize. Alright, so Jace goes to 4, which is fine. We get to untap and see what's up. Damn. Okay. That's probably game. I still have Mutavault. Alright. We could... So, like, my initial instinct was to minus Jace, like, looking for a Wrath, trying to get a Fact Fiction split, but they have Mutavault too, though, so I'm just going to plus here, just Wrath. Pretty good draw. Obviously, we looted too, but it's not too shabby. Mutavault's really good, though. Alright, so we get to untap with 2 Planeswalkers in play, a Wrath, push to flashback, and they have a Mutavault, a land, and an Ifnir Deadlands, and that is it. So I think we're looking good here. Pretty big draw. Obviously, you put the Rats in our deck to draw them eventually, you know? Mono black, the zombie deck does get some pretty good sideboard cards. Like, Noxious Grasp and Thoughtseize are pretty good. All right, so they get to rebuild here. Teferi Time Raveler also looks pretty good. I wonder if they have any Elder Spells in their board. All right, let's see what this draws. Another Beacon. So we could minus the Jace here. And it's still pretty safe. So we can plus on the Wander. Yeah, we're going to minus Jace. All right, so we're taking Narset. I imagine the split's going to be Narset versus... cards, I assume. Planeswalkers really do snowball. You can see every turn I add a new Planeswalker to the board, things get worse and worse for my opponent. Choose a pile to put into your hand. Okay. Interplanar Beacons the nuts. No Teferi or push. I like push. Plus that here. It's a decent board. No Elder Spell. No Elder Spell. Second Mutavault. Mutavault's really good. And a concession. Yeah. Planeswalkers start lining up. Avengers assemble, etc., etc. All right, cool. So they got us game 2 with a pretty good draw, but it felt pretty good overall. 1-1. Reminder to everyone that there's a companion article to this video on CoolStuffInc.com. I do a written article every Friday and a video article every Monday. And of course, you're watching the video right now. If you're watching it on YouTube, you can hop on over to CoolStuffInc.com to read the companion article. Also, check out my article from last Friday, where I go over the busy week we had in Magic. Mythic Championship, I did my 5 predictions. They were all correct. And also talk about the Field of the Dead ban a little bit. And then most importantly, talk about Pioneer and the future of Pioneer in general. Pioneer is very fun, but it's not an arena, and it's a little awkward in general. So I discussed that. So if you're mad about Pioneer not being an arena, check out my CoolStuffInc.com article from last Friday. Ew. Well, I mean, this is obviously the downside to playing Interplanar Beacon. There's only 3 of them and 23 other lands. But I'm actually gonna screenshot this real fast. It's a pretty good hand of the week. But yeah, so we're at the mulligan this hand, obviously. This shouldn't happen very often. I think we're keeping. I don't really want to go to 5. Let's see what they do. They mulligan also. All right, I think we're gonna go to 5. This sucks, obviously, but all right. Well, that sucks even more. But I guess we're keeping now. We're on the play. We can't go to 4, so we're gonna keep. We're gonna ship Big Teferi and I guess Oath of Kaya. It's pretty bad. Would love to have that 6 back. Okay, so the worst Thoughtseize of all time. They have 3 of the exact same card and a random creature. Alright, so let's just draw some lands and cast a Wrath of God, I guess. Which one? Elvish Mystic or Llanowar Elves? For real? Alright. I mean, it's funny because obviously Jace can try and find us lands, but the looting effect is actually terrible because we are on so few cards. So I almost don't mind this. I can draw 2 lands in a row here. There's the first one. Nope. Yeah, 26 lands in our deck, you know? Mull the old double interplanar beacon hand to a 6-land Elspeth hand to a 1-land hand. Certainly not ideal, but very smart. Playing around Bile Blight, very smart. Lord of Garenberg. Okay. Sir Farin the Hengehammer. Whenever it attacks, target creature gets +X for its power. So just some sort of mono green devotion beatdown deck. I mean, they literally have no cards in hand. So, I mean, probably a deck that struggles to beat a Wrath of God, which is good for us. If we can find a Wrath of God and some lands. Obviously not. Alright, so we're just dead here. I guess we'll just keep playing to see what's in their deck. But we have no outs at this point, so. This is effectively a 4-power creature. So they have 7 power and we're at 14. Can't draw Fatal Pushes and lands, so. Alright, so some sort of mono green, like Devotion Stompy deck. Probably gonna have Veil of Summer. It's annoying. Human. I almost wouldn't mind maybe like that Engineered Plague-esque Wrath in my board. I don't know. Alright, it's obviously a pretty stupid game. Let's bring in the old Kaya. Ashiok seems pretty good here because they just have so many big dumb idiots that are cheap. Noxious Grasp. Oath of Kaya. Oath of Kaya doesn't kill much, honestly. I think we don't want Thought Erasure. It's a little slow. I think Big Teferi is also pretty slow. I don't think I want the 3rd Oath of Kaya. I think 2 is fine. And it comes down to like how many Thoughtseizes do we want? Maybe we only want like 3. And again, Slumgar seems pretty good. I mean, they're gonna have again autumn, summer, whatever, Veil of Summer. But our Wrath should be pretty bonkers. Let's try this. I guess. Yeah, let's try this. Noxious Grasp is quite good. Alright. Okay. I mean, Jace is not doing much here. I mean, we're going to keep this hand, obviously. I think we're going to ship Slumgar. Put him all against 6 also. I mean, it's not the worst hand. It's definitely not great, but Jace has been like up and down. I could see maybe going to 2 Jace. It's nice to have something to do on turn 2, but there's certainly times where we draw Jace and don't draw any spells, and it just kind of eh. We're also not filling our graveyard super fast, so it's like gonna loot a few times before it flips. You know, we're not playing obviously fetch lands. Put them all against the 5. All right, we're just playing some fun Magic here, having a great time. Bolt mulliganing to Oblivion. But yeah, I think it's Witch's Vengeance is the card. It's like a black, black, and 1. Name a creature type, -3, -3 to all those creatures. Could be pretty good, honestly. Alright. Rather have double white than double black. So if they jam like a big 3-drop here, we get to just Teferi bounce it. If they don't, we get to Ashiok plus, which is really good too. So either way, it feels pretty nice for us. Yeah. And then Jace can block the Llanowar Elf that tries and kills the Teferi, so cast down ain't bad either. Again, the Jace loot not looking great here. Just not really cards I want to get rid of. But let's see if I draw land here or not. I can get rid of that. But no, Jace is pretty good. All right. And we're gonna loot. It's just, tap to mill 1 is fine because we want to put cards in the graveyard anyway. But all right. Also, might just kill that. Just Hollow Fountain, sure. Now that Teferi's in play, they can't Veil of Summer either, which is huge. Okay, that changes things in that maybe I want to Jace now and set up for Verdict next turn. We're not quite there yet on flipping Jace. I could just jump to keep my Planeswalkers alive, honestly. The problem is that they have a Thoughtseize. Things get really awkward, too. Yeah, we're trying to Jace. We'll see what they do. If they have a Thoughtseize, obviously things get awkward. They take the Verdict, but this puts them in a spot where if they don't have Thoughtseize, they have to commit more things to the board and get Wrathed, or I get to untap with Jace and then Ashiok and kind of go nuts. So, all right, so they have a Thoughtseize. That's fine. Cast Down's obviously great too. So, no matter what, we can keep our Teferi alive to keep Autumn, Summer, Autumn, whatever out of the equation, probably. Sure. All right. So now what? They're going to attack Jace, and Jace is going to go. We go to 1, or I can just block with Jace, Viren's Prodigy. Although flashing back the Wrath is pretty good. So I think we're just gonna. This is fine because Jace is still alive. So I think this is actually just fine. Let's loot. Sure. Jace goes to 1. Another land. I mean, now I can cast down Ashiok. And then just flip Jace next. That's really good. Yeah, okay, so we're going to plus. We're gonna plus. And plus. And Ashiok. Exile top 3. Hit any creatures. Seems somewhat likely. We hit Revoker and Surfarin Henge Hammer. It's fun. Now we get to say go, and we get to block one of these, Doomblade the other one, and then loot and flip our Jace, which is phenomenal. So, sure. I mean, they know we have this in our hand, so our play is face up. I mean, this is a pretty big blowout from all fronts. And Liner Elves tagging doesn't do anything, so we have a Chase trigger. Chase Architect of Thought is real good. Oh boy, I miss playing with this card. Block that. Doomblade this. Then loot with Jace. Nope, sorry, Teferi's in play. No Veil of Summer today. So again, without Teferi, Veil of Summer would be just egregious. But Teferi keeps that card in check pretty big time. All right. Now I get to flashback my Wrath. Another Teferi Time Raveler. All right. Well, gonna plus this, plus this. Do I want to plus Ashiok or put a bear in play? The bears are pretty bad. I'm just gonna plus Ashiok again, I think. Putting a random 2-2 in play doesn't really do much. That was a little more convincing, actually being able to cast spells and all. They do got some biggins. They do have some biggins. But, we have Wraths and Heroes Downfalls and Noxious Grasps and stuff like that. Now we're on the draw. Does anything change? Anything change here? Maybe on the draw, Kaya isn't great. Like, it kills Lana Rolls, that's basically it. Oath of Kaya doesn't seem great either. Like, maybe we want the 4th Thoughtseize. I don't know. Gideon making blockers also seems like okay, but not great. Definitely just part of the concern is just Veil of Summer. Card's just so stupid. It's possible you want the 4th Wrath on the board, honestly. Yeah, I'm going to cut the Kai on the draw. I don't think killing a Lantern off on the draw is good. I'm just going to leave all 4 Thoughtseizes in. It's not ideal, but they're definitely like they're more of a play a big dumb idiot deck than a aggro you out deck. So if I can just take their big dumb idiot before they can cast it, it's fine. Also taking Thoughtseize or Veil of Summer seems pretty good too. Yeah, Sam plays. It's not great, but plays. It's pain-free Thoughtseize. It's a fairy. If we ever cast Elspeth, we'll probably win the game on the spot. I guess Steel Leaf Champion's good against Elspeth, but otherwise most cards aren't. And then obviously the minus on Elspeth's very good too. This card's just a nut. Alright. And mulligan again. There are 8 Elvish Mystics in the format, so having one on turn 1 is pretty consistent. Alright. I mean, this is not ideal. It depends on the texture of their hand. Right, so they have Thoughtseize and double Idiot. So we'll take the better idiot, I guess, which is Steel Leaf Champion. They're going to play Yorvo. Maybe we, So they're going to play an idiot. We're going to play another Thoughtseize at a tap land. And I guess I'll Thoughtseize their Thoughtseize. Yeah, so that's fine. So take Steel Leaf Champion. We say go. They play Giant Idiot. We Thoughtseize their Thoughtseize, play a land. They attack us once. We get to Teferi bounce their Giant Idiot and just build up to Elspeth here. Seems fine. I think Thoughtseize is definitely the most important card in the format. Alright, there's your Bloom Marsh. Yep, there's your Big Dumb Idiot. Alright, so basically all I want to do is draw lands. Teferi is good at helping us achieve that task. Alright, yeah. Watery Grave, yes. We draw Narset, we can cast it. Okay. So Teferi, like cantrip repulse right now, is exactly what we're looking for. Because we just want the ability to keep like making land drops. Llanowar Elves, sure. So this undoes the Teferi will bounce this, undo the damage from the counter, which is fine. We're taking a hit here. You know, we're taking some hits, but I think we're in phenomenal shape. Yeah, that's pretty good too. All right. Well, let's say we're running fairly hot this game. Their hand was pretty medium. Bounce the idiot, draw a card. They replay the idiot. We cast Verdict. Is there a reason to play the Verdict on their turn rather than our turn? If we do so, we give them the access to the mana. They can cast the Planeswalker. I probably don't have any Planeswalkers, but I guess it's very dead. Never mind, I'm being stupid. We have our 5th land too. I mean, I can't imagine losing this game at this point. Like, because we're at 7, but yeah, sure. We dealt ourselves 6 damage this game so far. It's a lot. It's a lot. Where do interplanar beacons at, you know? All right, so they're on the plan of we never draw a 5th land. That's a card. A 6th land, I mean. It's a dead card. So basically, any land or spell, again, we've been in a spot once before. We have one other Elspeth in our deck. Otherwise, every card is live. Yeah. Pretty good. It's our first Elspeth so far. First Elspeth. Okay. 2-1. 2-1. So far, a lot of proactive creature decks. Our deck seems good against. I do wish our curve was like a little bit lower. Like the Hero's Downfalls in particular. While they serve a pretty specific role, they're just more 3s. Because Oath of Kaya also has that problem a little bit, but they're both serving pretty specific roles that 1 or 2 mana cards could not serve, so it's not great, but I've seen worse. Ew, well, if I'd known that was coming, I would have mulliganed, but that's a good draw. That's a good draw. It's just not a bad one. Foundry Street Denizen, Fanatical Firebrand, Legion Loyalist. Okay. Narset. Alright, so we're going to Oath of Kaya here. Take out the Denizen. And then next turn's probably Teferi bouncing Oath of Kaya. It's funny, the Loyalist actually turns off my Elspeth. Rabblemaster. Ooh, that's really good. Yikes. How about that 4th Wrath in the sideboard? Not possible that Witch's card is just better. Now, like, I mean, I want to bounce the Oath, but they can attack for 100 million next turn. I think we're just bouncing the Rabblemaster. I don't think we can play Narset here. And Loyalist actually is screwing up our Elspeth, where our tokens cannot block. Loyalist has a clause on it that can't be blocked by creature tokens, which is pretty annoying. I mean, ideally, I guess we Narset into our removal spell next turn. Jeez. I mean, Supreme Verdict anytime here. Why would they... Oh, they don't want to get Oath of Kaya triggered? Alright, sure. That was a good Teferi then. Killed the Firebrand too. Alright, Cast Down is good. Cast Down is good. It's funny. We might cast... No, we can't cast down the Loyalist. We'll just die to the Rabblemaster. The thing is, I don't know if we can beat the Loyalist. We'll see what our top card is. Top whatever cards. God damn it. You ever find a Wrath? Alright, we'll see what they do here. Wait, shit. Oh my god, that was really good. Foundry Street Denizen. Alright. They have a Whacker too? Oh my god, what a hand. Are we dead? I think we're just dead. That's pretty sick. Truth be told. This is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 20. Yeah, we're just dead. Okay. Yeah, Alright. Well, if I had known that's what I was playing against, I would have mulliganed. But that's okay. A Verdict at any point won that game easily. Couldn't find it. Alright, so we're going to bring in our Oath Kaya, Kaya proper, to Authority of the Consuls, and we're going to cut the expensive stuff. Just cut the Teferis. I don't think Heroes Downfalls. I guess the Thought Seizes are also bad. Heroes Downfall ain't great, but I kind of want to do this. Like, I don't hate Thought Erasure, but it's obviously pretty clunky. And then I'm not in love with Thoughtseize, but I don't think we can afford to cut it. I mean, like, a lot of our cards aren't great here, but a lot of our cards are pretty good, so I think we're fine. Might want a little more cheap spot removal. The Heroes Downfalls are weird. I just don't know how much, like, Planeswalkers matter. Oh, the Kayas are weird, too. Like, finding the right mix is tough, you know? It's always tough. All right, let's go first, and we'll keep a hand that's a little more interactive. This hand fits the bill nicely. We're going to keep this. We have a Wrath and an early removal spell and a Beacon, which honestly will matter a lot. So, and our opponent mulligans to 5. I think the London Mulligan is not nearly as good in Pioneer as it is in Modern. So, whereas in Modern we love to mulligan to 6 every game just to try and find a really good hand, I don't think you want to do that in Pioneer for the most part, unless your deck is pretty broken. Denizen, sure. I don't think we're casting Jace here. We're probably going to push this thing. I guess I'm playing Beacon. Just say go. We play Jace, like, they just get to get a decent attack in, which is not taking any damage here. And then, like, when are we actually casting push? You know? Firebrand, sure. I think this game, oh my god, Jace Architect I thought is so good against them. That's unreal. I want to draw a land. So I'm a little tempted to just Teferi bounce. It's also pretty insane because they're stuck on one land. Yeah, I'm just a Teferi bounce. Like, they're just going to kill my Teferi, but I think that just cantrip, draw a card, gain a life, replay your 1-drop is, like, actually really good right now because we can just draw any land for Jace. And Jace, like, brick walls their entire squad, so... Alright. Man, Raging Goblin Tribal here. We drew a land. Nice 1/1s. Fry? Sure, Fry's pretty good. Let's do it again. They have another Fry? I mean, we still have a Wrath, so... The goal is to keep their board at bay with Jace, and make them play other things that can actually attack, and then cast the Wrath. Goblin Instigator. Yeah, that one's not very good against Jace either. Kaya. So you can play Narset Jace or Kaya Jace. Pretty sure it's just Narset. Oath of Kaya? Yeah. I mean, Cast Down's like okay, but Oath of Kaya just seems way too good. Yeah, this might be a 4 Supreme Verdict format. And also, Verdict helps to catch us up for our lack of early spot removal. We're only playing like 4 early spot removal spells, so... Alright, so is there some sort of global pump effect I am missing? Everything is attacking Jace. I don't know. I'm just going to say okay here. If they have some sort of like +2/+0 effect, like Jace will die anyway, and then my other Jace will die, so sure. What do you got? What's the, nothing? Alright, cool. Alright, that game was a little bit easier. They did mulligan to 5, but I don't think they were beating our hand anyway. And we still had this Supreme Verdict just hanging out, you know, just in case. So now we're on the draw. Certainly not thrilled about the Thoughtseize or the Thought Erasure. But everything else also seems a little meh. Could bring in Gideon. The problem is, if it wasn't for Legion Loyalist, I'd be more interested in Gideon just making 2/2s. But Loyalist kind of makes that look pretty silly. We're just going to stand pat here. Definitely don't love this Thought Erasure, but I really don't want the 4th Thoughtseize. Well, this looks very similar to our Game 1 hand that we got destroyed with. So I think we're at the mulligan here. We do a Beacon, which makes it a little better, but Teferi's not really great against them. Yeah, we're at the mulligan this hand, unfortunately. Oh my god. I think we have to keep. Any land allows us to cast Narset. Any 2 lands allows us to cast Jace, and we have a Verdict we can't cast either. Oh. Why have our opening hands been so bad? How have we had the double Beacon hand twice already? It's just like so improbable. We have Othakaya too. Oh god, we can't go to 5. We're just gonna keep. Just gonna ship Jace. I hope we draw some lands. I mean, basically. I mean, obviously, double Beacon is pretty good at keeping us alive, so you can just draw any land to get Narset down, gain some life, draw a card, and just kind of go from there. Like, all right, that is any land. That's a start. Raging Goblin Tribal. Not being a black land kind of sucks, but well. Well. Alright, I mean, this isn't great for us. Oh my god, alright. Alright. We have the Wrath, too. We can't cast it yet. We're almost there to casting it. They only have 2 cards left. They have the Castle, though. Castle's so good in this deck. We get to Castle and attack for 8. Then I get to play a Jace and gain 2 life. Or get lucky and draw a Wrath. Am I just dead? No? No Whacker? How do you play Pile Driver there and not just Castle? God, please draw a land of Wrath to punish them. Please. Please. God damn. Alright, we're dead. That's insane. That is unbelievable to me. How you can play a Pile Driver into a Wrath here and not just Castle for the extra 3 damage. That is so sick. Alright, well, I guess we can draw Fatal Push. Alright, yeah, I guess we're not dead yet. Alright. That's unreal. Alright, Fatal Push. One time. Never draw Authority of the consoles, and then they have a castle. Oh, so if we have the Wrath there, they just die. Oh, man. That's pretty frustrating. All right. Been kind of a frustrating set of matches, I'm not going to lie. We've had some pretty unfortunate stuff happen to us. I know we're playing the Beacons, and but we only have 3 of them, and drawing 2 out of the 26 lands in our decks, we can't cast Wrath, is pretty sketch. Like, if it's some little rough luck here. I think our mana curve might be a little too high. And maybe we need a little more early game action in the sideboard, perhaps. I also think that maybe we want the 4th Verdict. I think cutting a Teferi is reasonable. I think only 1 Teferi is fine. 1 big Teferi. I think cutting a Jace Byron's Prodigy is also fine, too. I think 2 Jace is fine. Maybe for a little more early interaction. And then sideboard-wise, maybe like the Salumgar is a little too cute. We could just have like another good 1 mana removal spell or 2 mana removal spell. The Witch's Wrath, choose a creature type, -3/-3 card is like pretty good, but we're not playing a bajillion black sources. Is black 1. That's a card you gotta cast on turn 3 or it sucks. So, I'm not sure. Man, tough game there. Just easy win if we can cast that Wrath. All right, match number 5. Deck seems very good though. Both of our losses have felt kind of like, oops, and I'm breaking my microphone. I'm raging. I'm a salt monster. Somebody help me. I'm smashing things. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna keep. We do have like, 14 1 or 2 mana spells. I mean, I've had a lot of hands like this so far. We say we want more early interaction. We do have a decent amount, We have 6 discard spells, 4 removal spells, Jace. Opponent mulligans. Good mana base, On the draw, I'd be much more concerned with this hand, but on the play, seems fine. Unbridled Growth. It's a magic card. I guess I should play the Godless Shrine on turn 1, because if I drew a Thoughtseize, I could have Thoughtseized. Yeah, that's a mistake. So his land taps for any color, and they can sacrifice that to draw a card. Interesting. Some sort of Boggles deck, perhaps? I have no idea what's going on. That's really awkward. Obviously we want to use all our mana this turn, but like, are we scared of what they can do to us? I don't think. Whatever. I'm just playing Narset. Do your worst. This Narset's probably going to be a full dig through time. We get to Thoughtseize and to ferry them next turn. They're playing main deck Veil of Summer. But it's also not doing anything. It's just drawing a card. So at first I was really mad because they're playing main deck Veil of Summer. And then I realized that it's just not doing anything right now. When it could be so good for them. But okay, I guess. Sure. I mean, sure. Okay. So they want to draw some cards without getting stuck under Narset. That's fine, I guess. Thought Erasure, sure. Alright. I mean, Teferi also turns off Veil. I can't believe they're main decking Veil of Summer. What a crazy person. Like, what if they played against Mono Red? Like we just did. Some sort of like crazy combo deck? Yeah, it is some sort of crazy combo deck. I mean, with a Narset in play, this does nothing. So, okay. I guess we're gonna just Thoughtseize and Teferi them and just make their life totally miserable. That's cool. Making their life miserable is tight. Alright, I'll just bounce Ascendancy and then Thoughtseize them, I guess. Their hand is double Ascendancy, opt Sylvan Awakening. So they're playing the Ascendancy combo deck. I mean, they can't draw cards off of Ascendancy because of Narset. And they have 2 Ascendancies. We're just going to take the Sylvan Awakening. Another Thoughtseize. Or Oathakaya. Alright, well, Verdict and Oathakaya are worthless, so... Doesn't seem like they're doing much. They just scooped. Yeah, I mean, alright. Surprisingly, Narset and Teferi are still really good. And pretty obnoxious cards to just turn everything off. Alright. So, we need to cut some stuff for sure. We're going to want these Mystical Disputes, absolutely. We're going to want Gideon. Rest in Peace don't do much. Veto. Kaya and Ashiok. Do they do anything? I don't think so. Let's cut all the verdicts. Cut the cast down. And the hero's downfall. And the Oathakaya. It's a lot of stuff. I guess we leave cast down so you can kill land or something that they animate. Or if they're playing, I don't even know what it could do. Authority of the Consuls doesn't do anything. Rest in Peace might stop, like, if they have, like, Treasure Cruise, things like that. But Kaya eats into Treasure Cruise, I guess, and can, like, exile those stupid little enchantments. It's probably just better than, like, Verdict or whatever. Like, all these cards are pretty damn bad. I guess we bring in Ashiok because we could, like, ultimate it. I mean, the question is it just better than, like, is it better than any of these cards, which are all terrible? Or is Oathakaya just better than Ashiok? Probably not, honestly. Like, what the hell is Oathakaya doing, you know? I guess the pushes are also really bad, but they could bring in, like, a creature, maybe. I don't know if they're playing, like, creatures to untap, because, yeah, on Sylvan Caryatid. Maybe I do want Verdict to kill Sylvan Caryatid. Or I could, like, Verdict at instant speed on their turn if they try to go for Sylvan Awakening. Maybe I should just cut all these and leave in, like, 2 Verdicts. And then cut all this. That's 57 cards. It's possible they bring in, like, Oko or something. Alright, let's leave in, like, just leave in the rats and the downfalls, I guess. Honestly, I have no idea what to do. I haven't seen their deck list, so let's try it. I guess. Sure. Let's just try this. I honestly have no idea. I mean, get Narset in play, get Teferi in play, Thoughtseize them a million times. That's my plan. So, Mystical Dispute seems very good also. Very real Magic card. That hand's pretty bad. We're gonna mulligan. This hand is significantly better. I think we're gonna ship this Kaya. Kaya's not really doing too much here, I don't think. So we have our Thoughtseize, our Counterspell, and our Jace. That all feels pretty good. Opponent keeps 7. Opponent plays Botanical Sanctum. And nothing. So obviously we gotta be scared of Veil Summer. Because Veil Summer is just the dumbest card ever printed. So we're not casting Thoughtseize here. Teferi's great. Opt, sure. So Opt makes it a little less likely that they have Veil of Summer because it wasn't a wasted mana. So should I get Teferi in play, I think. Interplanar Beacon. I'm just gonna play a land tap and take it. I'm not thoughts until I have Teferi in play. And I have Dispute up now too, so if they want to cast Ascendancy, I can just counter it. And it looks pretty pretty mundane. Jace isn't bad, but we're just gonna. I mean, they might counter my Teferi here, but I don't know. Sure. Now I can like cast Thoughtseize with Mystical Dispute back up. They have Veil of Summer. Sure. Alright, I mean, Thoughtseize away. Their hand is Anticipate, Dig Through Time, Ascendancy, Sylvan Awakening. So I guess we're taking the Awakening. We can counter for Dig Through Time. This feels pretty good. And we have Jace also, so just flashback Thoughtseizes and stuff. They cast a second Ascendancy. I don't think I counter it. I think this dispute is going to be countering the Dig Through Time. Cast Attune with Aether. Yeah, it's fun. Discard Unbridled Growth, sure. I'll get an island here so they can. No, alright. Get a mountain, play it, sure. Play another Ascendancy, sure. Discard Strategic Planning. I don't think I care about any of these triggers, so. So their hand is Dig Through Time, Anticipate. Maybe it's a flashback, maybe flashback. We'll see. Maybe if I play Dig around my Mystical Dispute, things get awkward, but that was pretty good. That was definitely pretty good. All right. Just gonna bounce one of these. Draw a Narset. That's also really good. All them prison cards. Now I think we're gonna try to loot main phase. See if we can draw Thoughtseize. No. Okay. Alright, just ship the land. So I mean, things are pretty good here. If they fire off Dig Through Time, playing around Mana Leak, it's like a little annoying, but I should play Ascendancy probably, which is fine. I don't care about it. So this is fine because now I get to resolve Narset and turn off all this crap. So let's go Anticipate, sure. Opt, sure. Discard Veil of Summer, sure. Discard Ascendancy, sure. So they have a Dig Through Time, a card, and this Opt card. Godless Shrine. Alright, so we're going to Narset. There's no point in leaving white mana up, honestly. So I'm going to just Thoughtseize if possible. So I guess I have a Jovin's Veto, but I could draw a land. Or just play the land, I mean. Let's cast Narset and see what happens. Another Narset. Now we could loot. Looking for Thoughtseize. I might just ship this Jace Architect of Thought. I don't think I need it anymore. We'll just ship a land, I guess. Alright. Ship Hollowed Fountain. We'll just play this untapped. I guess playing on Spell Pierce is relevant. The Arletto's are relevant too, so whatever. Just play this and say go. They're in like a pretty thick bind here. Like, we have 2 Planeswalkers. They can't draw cards. Can't play things in instant speed. Right now, these... It's a May, so... Monastery Mentor? Okay, so we probably have to counter this with Mystical Dispute, which will allow them to dig through time, but I don't think playing against Monastery Mentor is reasonable, and I don't know what cards they can really find with dig through time that matter, and they gotta main phase it, and I can Thoughtseize them next turn, so we're just gonna cast this. I'm very glad I played that land. And an important non-blue spell was not on my radar when it should have been. So next turn we can like Jace, Architect of Thought, Flashback Thoughtseize. We do have to actually win this game at some point, but we're doing a very good job of not losing at the moment. And they're not going to dig through time? Wow. There is Teferi in play, so alright, cool. That was a really good draw. Supreme Verdict, not exciting. Although, honestly, the Verdict plus the Teferi means they can't Sylvan Awakening or whatever, which is cool. I think I Jace first. Then we're going to Thoughtseize with Mystical Dispute up. So I don't want to loot any of these cards away, I don't think. Let's, we can Jace and see what Jace turns up. I guess if it's like veto land, we want the white, so... Alright, it's not great, but... Probably just keep the lands. Don't think we need another Jace here. We're not really dying for... And then we loot. Teferi's pretty good. So let's ship one of these lands. Doesn't really matter which. Let's flashback. Thoughtseize. I should draw Step Bad. I'm just being stupid. All right. Double dig through time Ascendancy. I'm pretty surprised I didn't cast a dig last turn. I'm not sure why not, but sure. Don't think Ascendancy number 3 matters, so let's take the dig. And then say go. So I suppose like absolute worst case scenario here is they go dig and they play a Mentor, so we can't counter it, but then I can just Wrath or Teferi. So leaving on the Wrath is great, because Wrath also answers. Oh my god. Well, they can't loot. Okay. Yeah. That's pretty insane. Should I have not... Did I just punt? Oh no! Oh, I have 6th. Oh my god. Alright, that's really frustrating. I had the auto yield set because I didn't even think it would ever matter, but clearly I wanted to Mystical Dispute this in response to the lands being tapped. Oh, it's so bad. So if we had like, I guess we had the Wrath. We could have just not played Jace and left up Wrath. I guess he might have punted this game. So now we're just like 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Yeah. Okay. I guess we punted away an unlosable game. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad. All right. Yeah, we just completely chucked that game. Just threw it in the garbage. Let's not do that again. That would be really cool to not do that again. Okay. Are we interested in Rest in Peace? No. Interested in Ashiok? Hitting a Mentor would be pretty tight. Yeah, Teferi plus Verdict is really good. If we just leave up Teferi plus Verdict, we like can't ever lose probably. God, how did we lose that game? Unreal. All right. I like the Wraths a lot. I kind of want this Ashiok just to have a cheap thing to do. Very embarrassing game. Very, very embarrassing. I'm sure glad that one's not on the internet for everyone to watch. I mean, obviously that was sickly lucky that they drew that card, but if we had just played the Verdict, I'm sorry, if we just not played Jace and left up Verdict, we could never lose that game. All right, that sounds good. So, all right, tighten up. Veil Summer's so good. Just like thinking about it, like they can keep my Teferi off the board. Veil of Summer is just unreal. Our hand's good here. Okay, so they almost surely have Veil because they didn't have Opt. So it's fine. I mean, they ain't casting Ascendancy next turn, so I think we're pretty fine on this dispute. We're just gonna play Narset. No loot first. You have Spell Pierce, but sure. Maybe we could have waited a turn, but I guess they could also have Spell Pierce too. Okay, that's fair. It could be Veil or Spell Pierce. Okay, all action, no land. I mean, all action, no lands. Okay, that's not ideal given our hand, but I mean, we could just Thoughtseize and then Mystical Dispute their 1-mana interaction spell. I don't hate. And then we're also working towards flipping Jace too. Yeah, I'm actually pretty cool with that. And if the card's a Spell Pierce, we get to flashback Thoughtseize again with the Jace, which is pretty awesome. So, all right, they're gonna let it happen. Their hand is Fry, Ascendancy, Spell Pierce. Obviously, it's Spell Pierce. They can't just pay for it. Planning, Awakening, Awakening. Interesting. I mean, they play Ascendancy, we get to just like tuck it, or Fry deals with Jace. Strategic planning is like kind of good. Huh. Spell Pierce answers Teferi, obviously, but like we can just Thoughtseize it away later. I think just Fry. And get it Teferi down, and untapping 2 lands is pretty busted right now, so let's take that. Now we have 3 in the bin, so we're just going to say go. I guess I could loot now. But they have Spell Pierce, so anything I cast would just go away anyways. Yeah, I'll just say go. This is fine. It's pretty good. Drew land number 3. And now they're going to strategic planning with Spell Pierce up. I think we want to counter this so we can flip Jace and Thoughtseize them next turn and take their Ascendancy. Or take Spell Pierce, so we can land Teferi. We're not going to loot because we have we have no more loots coming. It's to flip, so might as well just draw a card for the turn. Drawing any 3-mana Planeswalker here is also insane. Not the worst. It's not great. Maybe we actually just pitch the Jace here, so we can set up for I guess Teferi with an extra mana doesn't really matter. So we're just gonna flashback Thoughtseize, take Spell Pierce, because then they have Ascendancy, Awakening, and nothing. They play Ascendancy, I can just play Teferi and tuck it. Yeah, I like that a lot. So we'll pitch Hallowed Fountain. We will play Thoughtseize. They're going to sack their Unbridled Growth to draw a card, removing their ability to cast Ascendancy. And they drew another Unbridled Growth, which is fine. We're taking Spell Pierce. And then we're playing a land and playing Jace. We need land 5 anyway, so... Second Jace not as good as the first Jace. I could definitely see playing only 2 Jace. Yep. Alright, so there's your Unbridled Growth. They have Awakening, Ascendancy, and a fresh card. Thought Erasure. So, like... Is that fresh card a Veil of Summer? Or Spell Pierce or something like that? I mean, I think we just play Jace. Play Teferi here. If they drew a way to counter it, I mean, whatever. They can't dig through time either, so... Draw. They drew a Fry. That's pretty good, but like honestly, we get a 2/4 out of a deal. It's not that bad. We get to draw a card. That was a really good card. And then we're not going to attack or anything. Next turn we get to Thought Erasure, flashback Thought Erasure, and then flip Jace again, which is pretty awesome. So that was pretty good. Pretty good exchange for us, I think. Fry answers our Planeswalkers, but not really in an effective way, or in an effective way. So, all right, so we're gonna counter this. Now they have Awakening, and now we're going to double Thought Erasure and probably be in a pretty good spot to win. That's pretty good too, but we want to. All right, maybe we wait now. I was going to go Thought Erasure, flashback, Thought Erasure, Jace, flip again, plus, but Teferi is pretty insane. So now you can just go Teferi, draw step, Thought Erasure. Yeah, we're just going to do that. Awakening, opt. So I think I'm just taking an opt here. The Awakenings don't do anything by itself. I got a long way to go before they matter, so just take an opt. Our top card is a Watery Grave. I'll bin that. They want to opt, they got to main phase it. It gets untap and flashback Thought Erasure. They topped. It's a mana confluence. So their hand is Awakening. So, I mean, they can Awakening to attack my Planeswalkers, I guess, but it's not really that good. Alright, untap. Watery Grave. So we're going to minus on Thought Erasure. Cast Thought Erasure, take one of these Sylvan Awakening things. Top card is that, bin it, and then we're gonna loot. Seen better, but sure. Keep this. And I'm pretty sure we just plus, though the Awakening can't kill anything. And do I play this land? We have one Jace left. Yeah, I'm just gonna play it. Alright, I mean, unfortunately our graveyard lacks things to flash back. We've already flashed back so many Thoughtseize effects. I think it's just 2, I guess, but so our Jace is like not doing much, but clearly they have actual nothing. I mean, they can draw a card off their Unbridled Growth, I guess, but finding a Narset would be nice. We only have 2 of those left. Maybe it was wrong to fire off Narset so early. Alright, they draw a card. I guess if they draw a land here, they can, like, I mean, attacking with 2/2 doesn't really matter, so. Okay. I mean, we could cast this on their turn, but then we can't flash it back. But I guess we probably just draw step this, because casting it twice on our turn, their hand's Awakening and something else. I think I'd rather just draw step it. And just plus both of these. Awakening, dig through time. Hot damn. Okay. Take that dig through time. Thank you very much. Alright, so not going to Awakening attack for 6. Sure. And we draw Gideon, ally of Zendikar. A fairly good draw step. Do I want to Thoughtseize away their Sylvan Awakening? I think I do. I actually have win condition too, so... I think I'm still just going to plus Teferi. I don't see a reason to just draw a card randomly here. I don't see what we're drawing off the Teferi that matters. This turn, we can't just draw next turn. Keep it safe. Sure, that's game. All right, cool. All right, so despite our... I mean, I guess... I don't know if it was actually wrong in Game 2 to not leave up the Wrath. I mean, we allowed them to draw the perfect card and kill us. We could have played around it. Maybe, I don't know. But overall, I know I went 3-2, which isn't ideal. But I would say both of our losses were pretty cheeky. The Mono Green Devotion deck, they ripped a few good cards in that Game 3. And then against the Mono Red deck, we just didn't play any spells in Game 1. And we could have cast Verdict in Game 3 and won, but didn't. So, a little, here nor there. But this deck seems very, very good in this format. Thoughtseize is just probably the best card in the format. Narset and Teferi, good as ever. I am a little unsure about the mixture of 3-mana spells. The downfalls and the Oath-of-Kayas, I feel like we're a little heavy in those regards. I definitely want answers to Planeswalkers. And both kind of serve that job, while Oath-of-Kaya gaining life seems pretty important too, but might be a little heavy on 3. I kind of want the 4th Verdict somewhere. I think that a Jace Viren's Prodigy is cuttable. A Teferi is cuttable. I wouldn't mind the cheaper removal spell also. I just want to have a little more to do early. Beacons were good. Obviously, we got screwed by Beacons once or twice, but I mean, we managed the 2-land 5-spell double Beacon hand twice, which is probably mathematically extremely unlikely. And honestly, most 2-landers aren't keepable anyway, so whatever. But Beacons were very good. Sideboard was good. The disputes were great. Grasp was great. Whenever drew Authority, it would have been good. Rest in Peace, didn't play against any graveyard decks. Don't know how important that card will be. Gideon's great. And then the mixture of cards, the Kaya was pretty good. Slumgar didn't really seem necessary. Ashiok maybe also the same. Ashiok's just kind of coming into a pretty crowded 3-drop slot, so I don't know if you want another card like that. So I could see those cards maybe shifting to something good against Mono Red or maybe a little more early interaction, but all in all, this deck seems very, very good to me. This is a deck that I think would be a great spot to jam, and if you already own Esper Control and Standard, you own a lot of the cards here, and get your Thoughtseizes now. You're going to need them. You're going to need them. Buy them on CoolStuffInc.com, promo code Jim5. So, that's the video. Thanks for watching, everyone. I appreciate it very, very much. Again, check out my article from last Friday if you missed it. And I'll see you here every Monday. You're on CoolStuffInc.com for my video. As I said, one last time, we have a companion article on the actual website. If you're watching on YouTube, check that out. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the Cool Stuff Inc. channel for more weekly content from myself, Ali Antrazi, and other great Magic players. And yeah, go Planeswalkers and people. All right, have some fun. Pioneers a new format. Check it out. So, love you all. See you all next week. Check out my article this Friday as well. All right, see you guys next time here on CoolStuffInc.com.